Sanskrit is the most ancient language and perfect among the greatest languages in the world. Sanskrit literature is the ocean that contains many wells of wisdom. It is the source of Vedas, Shastras, Puranas, many scriptures, Kavyams, and is the language of God. Sanskrit is vital to the Indian culture because of its extensive use in religious literature, primarily in Hinduism, because most Indian and Nepali languages have been directly derived from the Sanskrit or influenced by Sanskrit. Today, the world is full of suffering. People are going through the panic situation. They are not having inner peace and inner happiness because of the idea of consumption. People are getting entertainment from consuming more. So, to solve those problems, we have to get help from the Sanskrit because most of the Hindu and Buddhist scriptures are written in Sanskrit. Jainism scriptures are written in Sanskrit. So, if we are able to find out the knowledge, sublime knowledge of peace from many Shastras and Puranas, then our internal happiness can be acquired and we'll be able to be happy in this world. In Germany, 14 of the top universities teach Sanskrit, classical and modern Indiology. Many schools and many colleges of the world are teaching Sanskrit today, and many Veda, Shastras and Puranas, Hindu scriptures are also being taught in Western world today. Sanskrit has so many benefits. A research by scientists of National Brain Research Center (NBRC) have discovered that reading Devanagari involves more areas of human brain than Roman script. That means learning Sanskrit is good exercise for the human brain. Sanskrit has so many benefits. Knowledge of Sanskrit helps us to learn other so many languages too. It will make our learning and our speaking fluency more better. Sanskrit can be used as the computer language. The latest research is showing that Sanskrit can work as the interface between human and computer. Because of its algorithmic and grammatical pattern, AI only can understand the language of Sanskrit. In near future, NASA is going to use Sanskrit as the computer language. NASA scientist Rick Briggs discussed why Sanskrit is one of the best languages for use in computer long ago in 1985 in his paper Knowledge Representation in Sanskrit and Artificial Intelligence. According to him, Sanskrit is the natural language in which a message can be sent by the computer in the least number of words. So, Sanskrit has so many values. The perfect form of Vedic Sanskrit language had already existed thousands of years earlier, even before the infancy of earlier prime language of the world like Greek, Hebrew, and Latin, etc. Hence, Sanskrit is the source of all languages of the world. It's not a derivation of any language. As such, Sanskrit is the divine mother language of the world. People says that Sanskrit are just before it was developed just before 500 or 600 years ago, but it's not like that. It's a root language that does not consist any adulteration. Most of the languages of the world consist adulteration because the languages are not developed in more scientific and grammatical pattern. But Sanskrit consists more grammatical and more scientific pattern that was developed by Pranami. All the Sanskrit scripts are absorbed in 4,000 sutras written by Pranami in his Astadhyaya. So, in this 21st century, we must learn Sanskrit because of its so many benefits. Sanskrit alphabet never changed, altered, improved or modified. all the words of the Sanskrit language always had the same pronunciation as they have today. There was no any sound shift, no change in vowel system, no addition was made in Sanskrit in its grammatical order, in its vowel system. So the reason is its absolute perfection by its own nature and formation. So that in this world Sanskrit has so many importance because of its so many benefits, so many its algorithmic and grammatical pattern, its scientific learning style, scientific way of its speaking. Sanskrit has its many more benefits. Today, the Western world is marching towards learning Sanskrit, but Eastern people are not concerning their attention towards the Sanskrit and scriptures. It's our foremost duty, it's our prime duty to learn Sanskrit because we are the child of Rishis and Saint. We should not forget this idea. So, with the concept of making Sanskrit as the local language and global language, our Vidyapit, Sri Mahamati Prananath Sanskrit Vidyapit has started Sanskrit course from around 2 years ago. It is giving Sanskrit languages classes about Shastra, scripture, preachings, as well as all teachings are being given to all kind of people here. Here is no any kind of caste barrier, any kind of religious barrier. All the people from any ideas, any background, any culture can come here and start their Sanskrit classes and start learning their Vedic scriptures too. So that janati vivida bhasa, janati vivida kala, atmanam sa na janati yo na janati Sanskritam. Whether he is able in any kind of knowledge, skills, performance, but if he is not able in Sanskrit learning, Sanskrit speaking, Sanskrit communication, all are waste. So the foremost thing is we must be able to learn Sanskrit because Sanskrit consists Shastras, and Shastras is important for human value, human wisdom. This is the best way of our living. This is the art of living. So we must focus in Sanskrit learning. Dhanyavad, Pranam.